Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In the good opportunity, we will present about our research with entitled Streamlining Medical Services, a virtual chatbot for stomach-related illness. With me, Tresna Fahrudin, and Engineer Lisanthoni, Prismahardi Riyantoko, Kartika Maulida Hindrayani, and we are Prasetya from Department of Data Science in Faculty of Computer Science, UPN Veteran Jawa Timur. I will outline introduction, problems, related works, proposed method, result discussion, and conclusion. In introduction, we will explain about the several disease, like diabetes, chronic respiratory disease, stomach-related disease, cancer, and cardiovascular disease. It's a non-communicable disease are the cause of the death for almost 70% in the world, and a chronic disease that is not transmitted from person to person. And the proportion communicable disease is 1.1%, and maternal and neonatal 6% as cause of the death tend to decrease while non-communicable disease increases. And one of the cause of the death of non-communicable disease in Indonesian people is stomach ulcers, and the proportion of the cause of the death close to 3.4%. And then the risk of factors of the stomach-related disease is like from the internal and external factors. And internal is like gender, age, and genetic. But in the external, like stress, obesity, smoking, and unhealthy diet, and alcohol consumption, and eat less vegetable and fruits. And the type of stomach-related disease like Helicobacter pylori infection, and gastroenteritis, dyspepsia, or gastroesophageal reflux disease, or it's called the GERD. And the symptoms like diarrhea, nausea, stomach burning, heartburn, upset stomach and vomiting, and even vomiting blood and dark stools. The problem is how to build the application like chatbot for solve the disease. Like maybe we can develop automated virtual conversation for stomach-related disease information using Google Dialogflow and third-party kind maps. And we call is AltaBot. And the system can informs to the user like the types of stomach-related disease, risk, symptoms, and the treatment through easily accessible social media platform. And the several related works we have maybe 10 research begin from 2018 until 2021. Like Darwin, Keyboot, and Disha, Microsoft Survey Chatbot for architecture for chronic patient passport, and like there are Edbot, Eco, Florence, and several name of the chatbot for solve the several problems in the world. And research methodology, we have the stomach-related disease, and the several types, definition, symptoms, cause, diagnosis, treatments, and complications. And the agent will be in the dialog environment have the intents and entities, and the user will communicate between the chatbot and their chat or the input from the users. And the integration using Telegram, and then all the conversation will be training in the database, and how the user says and reset intent, the number of requests and match, and the history analytic will be collected in the Dialogflow. And The symptoms related disease, the agent recognize and respond to the user equation, and for the example, we have the question like, what is the meaning of gastritis? What are the symptoms of gastritis? What causes the gastritis? And the agent will be compare, yeah, will be think about the intent in the database, and they extracted the meaning, the symptoms, the causes, and the chatbot will be can response the question from the users. And result in discussion, the Dialogflow user can configure the agent name, the icon of agent, description of agent, default time zone, enable beta features, yeah, and enable log interaction to Dialogflow and Google Cloud. And the intent for the example, we have the question, what is the meaning of, what are the symptoms of, what cause of, how is the diagnosis of, how to treat, what are the complications, the question. The disease like gastritis, GERD, gastric ulcers is capable, the system will be respond appropriate with our intents. And the synonyms, yeah, for example, what is the meaning, like we can create the synonym is like, what is the definitions, yeah, or what are the symptoms, we can create the synonym is, what is the sign of, what is the indication of, yeah, the others reference value. And the result, yeah, when the system we test with the real the users, yeah, the system can be answer in the welcome intent, fallback intent, main intent, and the closing intent. And the conclusion, Chatbot Alta provide the informations of the stomach related disease to facilitate the end user in the text conversational using the flow and the party apps using Telegram. And the chatbot has empowered as agent in Dialogflow with configuring the multiple intents, actions, parameters, and the entities. Yeah. And the agent has intent that contains 7 types of stomach-related disease and the query patterns of the users, and the question including definition, symptoms, causes, diagnosis, treatment, and the complications. And to the response, a variety of question of the user, the chatbot have the algorithms like define synonyms and fuzzy matching. Yeah. And the testing is from the 10 users is successfully answered questions. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.